Julie Harris was shocked. She had just grabbed a pair of her panties and felt something wrong. When she looked at them, it looked just like a cum stain. She had only worn these panties once before and she knew she hadn't had sex in them. She wondered if her husband Dan had used them. She dismissed that, as he was all man. She then took up a pink bra that she'd just gotten that week. It had a short tear in it. She knew it didn't have a tear in it when she got it. She would have seen it if it had. She wondered if Dan was trying on her clothes. If he was, it had to be when she was gone for a long time, like last night when she was at a Tupperware party at Jolene's house. She thought about what to do. She decided to try to surprise him and see if she could catch him. She wondered what she would do if she did catch him in her clothes. She knew he was slim enough for many of her clothes to fit him. She didn't know what she would do if he was indeed trying on her clothes. She decided to play it by ear. At breakfast, Julie said, "I may have to work overtime tonight. If I am not home at the usual time, you'll know it's going to be late. If our quarterly figures don't add up, it can be very late. Last quarter, you remember, it was 10 o'clock before I got home. Hopefully everything will add up tonight." Dan said, "I hope you don't have to work too late. I'll keep occupied with something, so don't worry about me. I can get my own supper. You are an excellent cook. I know you won't starve." They went their ways as he headed for the stained glass studio that he had. He had 3 consignment projects going on right now. One project alone would take him the next 2 weeks to finish. He was a careful artist when it came to creating stained glass art. That night she waited until 6 before walking in. Dan was in the living room reading the evening paper. She told him the figures balanced the first time, that was why she was home so early. She was relieved yet disappointed that she hadn't caught him in her clothes. They were talking about how their day went and she said, "Saturday Jolene and I are going to the Forest Plaza Mall. So, you know I'll be gone all day." Dan said, "Why don't you two go to the mall in Somerset? It is only 35 miles and Forest is 90 miles. I think the mall in Somerset has a lot of the same stores that Forest has." "Yes, they do, but Forest is a lot bigger and has more specialty stores. Jolene likes Forest better, so we are going there." Saturday morning, Julie and Dan had breakfast together. Julie only had 1 cup of coffee as she didn't want to overdo it. She left, and he was all alone. He went and shaved close, then waited another 10 minutes just in case Julie had forgotten something. Julie stopped at a small diner and ordered coffee. If she'd been home, she would have seen Dan getting dressed. He had on a pair of her panties and a pair of thigh-high black stockings. He was choosing a bra as she left the diner. He put on the bra and stuffed the cups with a pair of socks in each cup. He looked at himself in the mirror. He thought he looked pretty good so far. He put on a black slip and enjoyed the feel of it as it slid down his body. He grabbed the black 2-inch heels he had worn last Halloween. He looked in her closet to choose a dress. He chose a black one with red roses printed on it. It had a long skirt. It had just fallen into place when he heard, "What in the hell are you doing? Why are you wearing my clothes?" All he could say was, "I'm sorry. Sorry my ass. Come to the table so we can talk. I'll change quick then be right there. Keep on what you have on. Come right now or I am leaving." He followed her to the table and sat down. She sat there looking at him, not saying anything. Finally she said, "Well, tell me, how long have you been wearing women's clothes?" "I started when I was a child. I would put on my older sister's clothes when I figured I wouldn't get caught. When we got married, I thought I could get along without having to dress up. I did real good for almost a year, then I had to do something, so I would put on a pair of your panties for short periods of time. Then it happened I added other items of clothing. Last Saturday when you had to work was the first time I put on one of your dresses. I'm sorry. I wanted to talk to you about it, but I could never get up the courage to tell you. That's why last Halloween I dressed as a hooker. That made it possible to go until almost Christmas before the urge got too great to resist. I am really sorry. I know I should have told you. Can you forgive me? She knew by the tears in his eyes he was sorry for what he had done, but she was angry about him wearing her clothes, and also that he had never told her about his urges. I have decided that since you want to dress as a woman you can, but under my rules. You will now do all the things a woman always does, like cooking, cleaning, laundry and grocery shopping. You will wear women's clothing 24/7 until I decide that maybe you can dress as a man again. Don't expect it to be soon. I am so angry that you never told me you are a sissy and that you would wear my clothes. Now, I have to go someplace. You have a choice. You can go put on that wig you wore last Halloween and we can go shopping, or I can go somewhere alone like a lawyer's office. Which will it be? Can't we talk about this? Give me a chance to make it right. I know I shouldn't have worn your clothes and I am sorry, but we have to talk about it. You have 5 minutes to get ready or I am leaving either with you or alone. It's your decision. I am done talking for now. Go put on that wig you wore last Halloween and get Edie or I am leaving. He slowly got up and went into the bedroom and got the wig off the shelf in the closet. He sat at her vanity and used her hairbrush to straighten it out. He was finishing when she came in. She had him turn toward her and she applied red lipstick to his lips. She told him to get his wallet. He got it and stood there holding it in his hand. She grabbed a black purse of hers and handed it to him, telling him to put his wallet and the lipstick in it. He followed her to the car and got in on the passenger side. When she got in, he implored her to talk about it. She told him he was free to get out if he wanted, but she was going somewhere, either shopping or whatever. He stayed in the car. 45 minutes later, they were parking at the mall in Somerset. He didn't want to get out, but she told him she would get some help, and if he didn't get out, she would get him out, and it was a long walk back home. He got out and followed her into the mall. The first store was a dress store. She had him try on at least a dozen dresses. She selected 4 for him. He blushed as he paid for them. Then she led him to a women's accessories store. There she found him a red patent leather purse and a white wallet with a red rosebud on it. She also found him 3 scarves there. He didn't see when she found a white cap with a black satin ribbon in it tied in a bow and long pieces hanging down. She thought that would be perfect for when he was cleaning. Then she led him into a shoe store but didn't see any that she liked for him. She stopped at a discount jewelry store, and when they left he had 2 studs in each ear. She'd also purchased 4 pairs of dangly earrings for him. The next store was a dress barn. There she found 4 more dresses for him. One had a white top with lace trim and a short black skirt with a multi-layered petticoat sewn in. She told him he could wear that while cleaning and he would look just like a maid. He blushed deep red when she said that. The next stop was a lingerie, unlimited store. There she picked out 8 panty and bra sets, all of them very lacy and feminine. She also found him 4 nightgowns that were long and flowing. When they were checking out and the cashier was folding the nightgowns, Julia asked her if she thought they were his colors. The cashier looked at him and laughed and said they should look sweet on him. Outside the store they rested on a bench. Julia told him to switch things from his black purse to his new one. When he did, she handed him the white wallet and told him to empty his wallet into it. He did, Then she tossed his old wallet into a garbage can that was there. She was looking around and saw Tony's adult toy store across the concourse. She let him in and was walking around looking at the merchandise. He was shocked when she picked up a chastity belt and carried it along. Then she spotted exactly what she was hoping to find. She found the fetish heels section. She picked up a red pair with 5-inch heels. She called the woman who was minding the store to measure his feet. The woman measured his feet and said they had a pair in his size. She got them and he was quickly in them. The woman locked the ankle strap. Julie spotted a pair of black strappy heels with a 6-inch heel. The woman quickly brought them out in his size. Julie told her they would take both pair and the chastity belt if she could get the chastity belt on him. Julie walked out of the store as he was paying for everything. The woman said it looked like he wasn't going to get anything for a while. He blushed a deep red and left. He was having trouble walking in the heels. He told Julie he had to get them off. "No, all you have to do is put one foot in front of the other and take short steps. Walk on ahead and I'll watch to see if you can do it right." He started to walk, careful to put one foot in front of the other. It was better, but he still wished he had them off. Julie smiled when she saw how his rear now swayed. She caught up with him and told him how well his purse and shoes matched the red in his outfit. She saw a nail parlor and went in and talked to a girl there. He couldn't hear what was being said but knew it wasn't good. Soon the girl told him to follow her. 15 minutes later he left with long red nails. On each nail was a gold letter that when he held out his hands read "Sissy Missy." He was mortified at how this was turning out. Julie saw he had to use his credit card to pay, so she knew he was out of cash. They were heading for the car when she saw the Foundation's unlimited store. She thought she would just look around in there for some ideas. A salesgirl came and Julie said, "I am just looking for some ideas for my sissy husband. I want something with firm control." The girl said, "I know just the thing. But it won't be comfortable. We got a corset in but it is so restricting no one wants to buy it. It is a $150 corset and you can buy it for $30 so we can be rid of it." Julie told her to get it so she could see it. The girl returned with it. It had a definite hourglass shape. The top and bottom looked big compared to the waist. It had a lot of steel stays that the girl said were guaranteed not to bend out of shape. Julie said they would take it if she could get it on him and laced tight. The girl took him back to a fitting room. He didn't think she looked so strong, but when she was done he felt like he was getting cut in half. He couldn't take a deep breath. He felt so restricted he didn't think he would be able to do anything. He was surprised he could even walk. Julia paid for the corset and thanked the girl. As they were going out of the store she said to Dan, "That corset gives you a more feminine figure and really does wonders for your posture. Your breasts look like they stick out a lot further too." He had trouble staying up with her. She laughed when he asked to rest and kept walking. Some distance later she stopped and they sat on a bench. "I want you to make me a promise. Do you think you can do that?" He agreed and she continued, "I want you to promise me you will let me know when the corset doesn't feel so tight. Will you promise me that?" He agreed, feeling she wasn't as mad at him now. Sitting there, his breathing evened out. They got up and continued to the car. By the time they got there his legs were hurting. He was glad to get to sit down. They were on their way home when Julia said, "Aren't you going to thank me for getting you all those pretty clothes? I am letting you live out your dreams and dress as a woman. You should be thanking me for that. I told you we have to talk. We can come to some sort of agreement, I am sure. I will promise you I won't wear women's clothes again. You told me this morning that you tried to stop and couldn't do it. I know you would mean it when you promise me you won't wear them again, but then you will anyway. You said you liked the feel of wearing women's clothes, so I am going to see that you get to wear them. If you don't get any more feminine, maybe I'll let you get back into men's clothes, but don't expect it soon. I don't want to hear about you getting back into men's clothes right now. You are going to learn that wearing women's clothes has its drawbacks. That is why you have those heels and that corset. Speaking of heels, I can't wait until you graduate to the higher ones we got. I can hardly walk in these now. How do you expect me to walk in higher ones? I may have you put them on tomorrow while you clean the house. That way you can get used to them before you wear them out somewhere. Where would I wear them to? I can't think of any place I would wear them. Sure you can. You can wear them if we go out to eat or go visiting someone. I am sure we'll find some place for you to wear them. I wish we could talk about this. If we could, I know you will feel better and maybe change your mind about what you are doing to me. Julie knew she had to change the subject. She said, "Look at your pretty nails. The girl told me they were bright pink underneath, so if you take the polish off they will still look nice. You know that Sissy Missy is nice and Missy is short for Melissa, so I guess we better start calling you Melissa from now on. Isn't Melissa a cute name for you? I don't think it's necessary to give me a different name. You could call me Danny or something. No, your name is now Melissa. If you don't like it, I can stop at the tattoo parlor in town and get it tattooed on you so you remember. Now, tell me your name and that you like it." "My name is Melissa and I like it." "Tell me why you like it." "I want to hear you gush over your new name." "I like it because it is so feminine and pretty. It has a good sound to it. I couldn't have picked out a better name." Julie felt a rush hearing him say that. She liked the power she had over him now. When they were close to home, she told him he was to put his new clothes in the spare bedroom closet. She told him that then he would have them handy, as she wasn't sleeping with a sissy. He felt hurt when she said that but didn't say anything. By the time he got everything put away, his legs were killing him again. He asked to get the heels off, but Julie just laughed at him, telling him to get used to them. He sat down to rest and she told him to go make supper. He got up and did as she said. They were eating supper when Julie said, "You know what bothers me the most? It is that you have been living a lie. You never told me that you liked to wear women's clothes. Are there any other secrets you want to tell me? Now is the time to get it out in the open." "No, there are no other secrets. And I know if we just talk about it we can be closer together. I don't want to lose you. I love you. I know we can work our way through this. Right now I see you as a girlfriend, not my husband. I may have to find a boyfriend to take care of my sexual needs. You are going to be unfaithful to our wedding vows? I think you are using this as an excuse to cheat on our marriage. I may have dressed in your clothes, but I never even thought about cheating on our vows." Julie knew she would never cheat on him, but she had wanted to see what his reaction would be, and she saw it. She thought she'd better change the subject quickly, so she said, "You better go to bed early tonight. You have a busy day cleaning and doing laundry tomorrow unless you are going to do it during the evenings after work." "Which is it going to be?" "I'll do it tomorrow." "What all has to be done?" "Well, the house has to be completely cleaned and the laundry has to be done and ironed. If you get that done early enough, I am sure I can find something else for you to do." "Why does the laundry have to be ironed?" "You never iron it. You are going to learn everything a woman can do and ironing is one of them. You are the one who dressed as a sissy. I didn't force you or make you put a dress on. You wanted to wear dresses, so now you can learn there are things that aren't so nice about it. I have already learned that with this corset and these heels. Can't you see that? I know they may be a little uncomfortable, but you will get used to them. I know that you can do it. If we get a chance tomorrow, I'll show you how to put eyeshadow on and have you practice doing it. Doesn't that sound like fun? Sarcastically he said, Oh, yes, that sounds like a ton of fun. You know, I have never worn makeup before. How does it feel wearing lipstick? You look good with red lips. I don't know. I haven't given it much thought. How long does it stay on? That depends on what you do. If you do a lot of kissing, it has to be redone, and after you eat, it usually has to be redone. After you finish your supper, go and redo it. As soon as you get up in the morning, I want you to put your lipstick on. Do you think you can remember that? He said he did, and it quieted down for the rest of the meal. He finished eating and redid his lipstick. He was doing dishes when he heard Julie on the phone. He couldn't hear what was being said, but somehow knew he was being talked about. He was finished with the dishes and sitting down in his recliner. About 5 minutes later, the doorbell rang. He got up to head for the bedroom. Julie told him to answer the door. He turned and slowly walked to the door. He answered it on the third ring. He was shocked to see his older sister there. She said, Julie said you changed your style, but I never expected this. Where is Julie? He let her come in and she sat down. Julie said, I caught him in one of my dresses. In fact, it is the one he has on now. So today we went and got him enough dresses to wear for a long time. We got him everything he needs to dress as a woman. I think he makes a pretty convincing looking woman, don't you? Yes, he does, but where did you get those heels? They must be murder to walk in. We found them at the mall in Somerset. I imagine they could be uncomfortable, but I am sure he doesn't mind. He likes feminine things, so he can wear them. His new name is Melissa. Melissa, tell your sister about when you were younger at home, what you did. He mumbled something neither woman understood. Julie told him to speak loud and clear. He then spoke louder and clearer. I always knew someone was in my clothes, but I thought it might be Mom looking for something. I never thought it was Dan. I will have to think about that. I know just the thing. I have a present in my purse. Melissa, come here. He got up and went to her. She took a bottle and sprayed some perfume on his wrists and behind his ears. It was a heavy floral scent. Julie told him to hold his fingers out so his sister could see his nails. She laughed out loud when she read his nails. He was blushing deep red as she laughed. She handed him the perfume bottle saying, You can have it. I thought I liked it, but it is too heavy for me. It stays on forever and I couldn't even wash off the smell. Now you not only look feminine but you smell feminine. Julie laughed when she heard that. She said, Remember on the way home, what I said about you not getting any more feminine, that if you didn't you might get back into men's clothes sooner. Well, now you are more feminine. Thank your sister for giving you such a nice present and tell her why you like it. Thank you for giving me this nice perfume. It smells so nice, I know I will like it. Both women laughed at that. Julie told him to go put on his turquoise nighttime outfit so his sister could see how nice he looked in it. He went and changed into it. The gown had a lot of ruffles and lace and the top piece had turquoise feathery trim. The trim tickled his neck and his wrists. He wished he didn't have to appear in front of his sister like this, but had no choice. When he made his entrance, Julie had him do a turnaround so they could get the full effect. He twirled on tiptoe and got a cramp in his foot. He sat down and rubbed his foot as both women laughed. After a while, his sister finally left. Julie told him it was time for him to go to bed. He asked her if she was going to unlock his shoes. She told him to get her purse. She took out one key and tried it. It wouldn't unlock his shoes. She told him tough luck, that he would just have to keep them on. He was in the spare bedroom, now his bedroom, and thinking that if he had known this was going to happen he would never have put those clothes on, but it was too late to cry over spilled milk. He knew he was tired after the long day, and fell asleep almost instantly in the strange bed. The next morning he wasn't fully awake when he got out of bed. He almost broke an ankle because he didn't realize he still had those heels on. He went to the bathroom and had to sit on the toilet because of the chastity belt. His urine sprayed and he had to wipe himself. He remembered to put on lipstick and was pretty proud of how well he did it. He went in to get dressed and was looking at what dress to wear when he remembered Julie saying something about putting the black and white on for cleaning. He took it out and put it on. The petticoats that were sewn in tickled his legs. He did a turn in front of the mirror and saw his skirt fly up. This made him laugh and do it again. He liked the way it flipped up when he turned quickly like that. He went down and started breakfast. He knew Julie would be up soon. Julie came in just as everything was ready. He was proud of how he knew just when to start everything. Julie said, "Good morning, Melissa. Are you all ready to do some cleaning today?" He said he was, and she smiled. They ate their breakfast and she told him to get one of his new aprons on. He was putting it on when he heard her on the phone. He heard her say they would be right over. This didn't sound good. Julie came and told him to stay right there. She left, and when she came back she had the white cap. She pinned it in his hair, then told him to get her purse. She asked him if he wanted the shoes off and he said yes. He thought she was going to let him wear the lower-heeled ones today, but she told him to get his new black ones on. He got them on and found that the inch extra height made his steps even shorter than before. They felt completely different. He went back to Julie and she told him they were going to his sister's. I called her and asked if she needed any cleaning done and if she needed any help. She said she can always use help cleaning, so I told her you would be glad to help. What about our cleaning? I thought I was going to do our cleaning today. You didn't say anything about me cleaning for my sister. You'll just have to do our cleaning after work this week. I figure after you have worn her clothes, the least you can do is some cleaning for her. I am sure you know we both expect you to do a very good job of cleaning. When they arrived, he was glad to hear that his brother-in-law had gone fishing for the day. His sister put him to work right away making the bed and cleaning the bedroom. He finished it and went to see what else she had for him to do. Julie said she was going to do some shopping and to call her when we are done. I don't expect you to do all of the cleaning. I will help you. You can sweep and mop the kitchen and bathroom. I'll do the living room. If we work together, we will be done in no time. He went and started the kitchen. It wasn't long before his legs started hurting. He kept on working though. When he finished the kitchen, he started the bathroom. He wiped down all the surfaces of the bathroom and did the big mirror. He did the floor and was proud of how it shone when he was done. He was surprised at how the time had flown. His sister made them some lunch. As they were eating, his sister said, "How long do you think Julie will keep you in dresses? Do you have any idea?" "I don't know. I don't want to lose her, that is why I am going along with this. I can tell she is still angry with me even though she still talks to me. Her talking to me gives me hope that she will get over it. I hope it is soon. Why would you want it to be soon? You like wearing dresses, don't you? I would think you would be in seventh heaven being made to wear them. There is a big difference between putting something on because you want to and being made to put the same thing on. Now my wearing dresses is a punishment and I feel it all of the time. If I can only get her to talk about it, maybe we can end this punishment. I love you not only because you are my brother but also because I know you are a good person. I will try to help any way I can think of. I think we have cleaned enough for today. Do you want to rest some before I call Julie? Yes, my legs are killing me. Maybe if we wait an hour or so it will be better. I never wanted Julie to get heels this high and I don't know why she wanted to get them for me. I know why she got them. She figured you wanted to be as feminine as possible and those are definitely feminine. Laughing, she continued. I would never be able to walk in them. I am amazed you can walk at all in them. You know, with that apron and your little cap with the ribbon you do look like a maid. I hate to tell you this, but you do look cute in that outfit. Thank you, I guess. I wondered what she meant when she said I would look like a maid. Now I see why she wanted me to be over here helping you. It was to show me I was nothing more than a maid. Yes, I know when Julie gets mad she gets even. She does have a temper and does take a while to get over some things. I am sure she will relent at least a little bit, hopefully soon for your sake. His sister told him to go lie down on their bed and rest. He rested wonderfully. She woke him up an hour later and asked him if he was ready to go home. He said he was. Julie picked him up 15 minutes later and took him home. Julie told him to go into his bedroom and strip. He did, and she came in with a box, and when she opened it he saw it was some rather large breast forms. Soon she had them glued on his chest. He was surprised at how heavy they were. She said, the salesman said they were the jiggliest ones they have. Walk around so I can see how they jiggle. He walked around and indeed they did jiggle. He felt different with this development. He was amazed at how much his legs hurt, and when Julie suggested he relax and watch television he was thankful. He was surprised she was on the computer. He was enjoying a movie and while a commercial break was taking place he peeked in at her. She was on the internet. He knew because he knew all the programs that were on the computer and none of them had a screen like the one he saw. He couldn't make out what site she was on, but he saw she was intent on it. He grabbed a soda and went to watch the rest of the movie. When the movie was over it was time to make supper, so he started it. He called Julie when it was about 5 minutes to go before it was done. She came out just as he was putting it on the table. She started eating and said, "This is very good. You are doing very well. For your information, I spent this afternoon on the internet. I visited a lot of sites finding out about cross-dressing. I have learned a lot about people like you. I found out you are not alone with your urges. I may be getting over that part of my anger, but I am still angry that you wore my clothes. Finding out that you are not alone in your urges has made me realize that I have to check things out more in the future. I am not saying that you can switch back to your men's clothes, but I want you to know I am trying to understand you and your urges. Thank you for that. I know I am not alone even though I feel that way sometimes. I checked out 2 websites that dealt with transvestitism and I know a little more about it. I am not using that as an excuse but want you to know that I can see where you are coming from. I want you to know I love you and I do not want to lose you. I love you also. I don't think we will have to get a divorce, but I am very hurt by your actions. I truly don't know how long I will feel this way, but I am trying to control it. Until then you will just have to put up with me. They finished eating and she gave him a kiss on the cheek for the delicious meal. He felt better after that. Things didn't seem so dark anymore. He felt happy as he did the dishes. He noticed she was back on the computer again. He watched television and rested until bedtime. She unlocked his shoes and told him he could wear the lower-heeled black ones for work tomorrow. He went to bed feeling a lot better than he figured he would. He enjoyed the feel of the flowing nightgown. He slept well and felt refreshed in the morning. He made both of them eggs and bacon for breakfast. Julie came right on time and told him he looked very nice. He thanked her and they ate, chatting about little things. She told him he had to put the higher heels on as soon as he got home. The way she said it told him she wasn't as angry with him anymore but was still hurt by what he had done. He wished he could kiss her and make it all go away, but he knew that wasn't possible. They left for work at the same time. He arrived at his shop and started to work on his current project. It was a stained glass window for a woman who had a thing for unicorns. He had it 90% done and hopefully by tomorrow he would have it done. He was working on a part that had small pieces of glass to put in. He found it was very easy to pick up and place the pieces with the long fingernails. He was becoming happier and happier with how well things were going. Then the bell for the door rang. He knew it was a customer. He took off his work apron and went out front and saw a lady about 60 looking at some of his work that was for sale. He watched as she looked at the sun catchers he had made. She saw him and came over and said, "I know you make special orders. I have the measurement from a window I would like to replace with a stained glass window. Here is the size. I would like an estimate." He looked at the size written on the piece of paper. It looked to be a standard size for a window. He told her $600 and that he would have to come and measure it himself to make sure the size was correct. She said, "That doesn't sound too bad. You see, my husband died and I would like it as a remembrance of him. He was an artist and did very well selling his paintings. He did landscapes mostly with barns in them. I have been in here before and I know you artists are all alike. You are different from the usual people a person meets. My husband always wore blue shirts. I think he had every color blue there was in his shirt collection. He was different also. He always seemed to know what farmer would buy his paintings of their barns in a landscape. I remember one Sunday we were out for a ride. Suddenly he stopped and got his easel out and started painting. When he was done he drove to the farm whose barn was on the painting. 15 minutes later he was back to the car, having sold the painting. Yes, he was different but I loved him. She told him she wanted a stained glass window showing an artist painting a landscape with a barn, and if possible a blue shirt on the artist. He told her that was very possible and pictured in his mind what it could look like. She gave him her address so he could come and measure the window she wanted replaced. Then she surprised him saying, "Like I told you, I have been in here before, and I think you look much nicer in that dress than in those faded jeans and the ratty shirt you had on the last time I was in here. I think the better an artist you are the more unusual you are." She turned and left. He stood for some time thinking about what she had said. He couldn't believe she accepted the fact he was wearing a dress. He thought he really liked her. She was so different, and probably didn't know she had made his day. He returned to work and by the end of the day had just about finished his current project. He knew it would take only about an hour to finish it tomorrow. He got home and changed his shoes and started a load of laundry, then started supper and set the table. He figured Julie would be home about a half hour before supper would be ready. When Julie wasn't home at the usual time he started to worry. Did she have to work over? She usually called if she did. He went and switched wash loads. He decided that the other cleaning could wait until tomorrow night. Just as supper was 5 minutes away from being done, Julie walked in. She was carrying a bag that he didn't notice. She put the bag away and returned for supper. They started eating and Dan couldn't wait to say, "I had a most interesting customer today." It was an older lady whose husband had died. She commissioned me to do a window for her. She said something that really made me think. She said the better an artist you are, the more unusual you are. Julie said, "I have often thought that. I think that is one of the wonderful things about you. I never know what is going on in that mind of yours. Sometimes I don't know if you are angry or just having one of your creative moments. You make some dandy faces sometimes that I can't interpret. I have no idea what is going through your mind." Well, I'll tell you one thing she sure got me thinking. She said she thought I looked better in a dress than I did in jeans and a shirt. I couldn't believe she was saying that. You do look nice in a dress. I have a surprise for you for after you finish the dishes. It may be time for that talk you want. I am not sure you will like all that I have to say, but it is time to clear the air. They finished eating, and as he was doing dishes he wondered if she was thinking of leaving him. He dreaded the worst. He hoped she was thinking of ending the punishment, but he knew in his heart that was unlikely. She said she wanted to talk in such a serious way that he just knew it wouldn't be good news. He finished the dishes and went in to her. When he said he was ready to talk, she said to give her a few minutes to figure out how she was going to say it. He felt a sense of dread. She was so serious looking he knew it couldn't be good news for him. Finally she started, "I spent all day thinking about how I was going to tell you this. I want it to be just right. After what I found out on the internet, I came to realize you are not going to change. I realized you will continue to put on dresses. I thought that making you wear dresses was a punishment, but it could be the delight you've wanted all along. I wondered whether I could continue to live with you if you wore dresses. It was not an easy decision, but I have made it." She was quiet for a couple of minutes, thinking of how she was going to continue. He waited for the word that their marriage was over. Why else would she choose her words so carefully? "I want you to know I found out that people like you use any resource to dress up. It would have been better if you had gone out and bought your own clothes to dress up in instead of wearing mine. I have decided to forgive you for wearing my clothes. However, I want you to continue to dress in dresses until you have worn every outfit that we got you at least once. Do you think you can do that?" He wanted to get up and go over and kiss her, but he told her he would do as she said and thanked her. She told him there was more she had to say. He waited as she gathered her thoughts. "I got you a present to show you I really forgive you. However, I want you to know this wasn't an easy decision for me. I realized I love you more than I thought. I am not sorry for what I did, but there are some things I would change if I could." He replied, "We all would change some things if we could. I know there are a lot of things I would do different, but once they are done you can't always take them back. I am not upset with you in any way, shape or form. I realize you did what you thought you had to do, and I appreciate that you are who you are. I love you very much, and I was afraid I was going to lose you. You are making me very happy just talking about this." She continued, "After this is over and you have worn all of your pretty outfits at least once, it will be up to you what you wear. The outfits are yours, and I think I can live with you in a dress if that is what you want." I never in my life thought I would be saying such a thing. He couldn't contain himself any longer. He got up and went to her and kissed her deeply. She returned the kiss. After they broke their kiss, she handed him a shoebox. He opened it and found a pair of black flats in it. He thanked her profusely and kissed her again. She said, stand up and pull up your skirt." He did, and she told him to turn around. She unlocked his chastity belt and told him to take it off. He did. I don't know what possessed me to buy that thing. I can't remember what I was thinking when I saw it. I was still very angry with you then, and so that is my only excuse. How about removing the corset so I can take a regular breath? I think you should leave the corset on. You never told me when you got used to it, so I'll just have to see if I can tighten it a little tonight before you go to bed. It does add a lot to your shape. You have a more feminine shape with it on. I suppose so, but it seems to be a lot to go through to get a better shape. It does take some getting used to. One thing that surprised me is that I can handle the small pieces of glass easier with these longer fingernails. That was a complete surprise. I got more done today than I have for a long time. Of course, that lady helped put me in the right frame of mind to get something accomplished today. I worked right through lunch. That is why I was so hungry tonight. Why don't you go and put on your sexiest nightie so I can see how good you can look? And try on your new shoes to make sure they fit all right. He quickly went and had a hard time deciding what to wear. He finally decided on the pink baby doll with loads of ruffles and trim. He tried the black flats and they fit perfect. He headed back to the living room and Julie patted the couch next to her. He sat down and she kissed him. He responded with kisses of his own. She rested her head on his shoulder. They sat quietly and enjoyed being with each other. He thought about how lucky he was to have her as his wife. Suddenly she got up and grabbed his hand, saying, "Your man is free now. Let's see if he's awake." "Oh, he's awake all right. I think he's celebrating his freedom." She led him into the bedroom and soon they were into some serious foreplay. She shed her skirt and panties and his panties ended up on the floor. They made slow deep love, and when they were done Julie welcomed him home to the bed. After another kissing session they settled down for sleep for the night. He thought about everything that had happened to him and smiled to himself. He was one lucky guy.